What is going on, guys? Corrosive Bullet here, and today we are going to be doing a beginner's guide to Dokkan Battle. Now, this might seem a little redundant just due to the fact that Dokkan Battle is 10 years old, of all things. However, I wanted to do this series for a couple of reasons. One, despite the fact that Dokkan is 10 years old, there are still players that are joining the game or haven't played the game at all in the past 10 years, so I want to make a comprehensive guide and a sort of a free-to-play progression type series to kind of get people into the game. Maybe people want to test the game out, see what it's about, but there's so many mechanics in the game that it can be a little hard to follow, so this is reason number one as to why we're doing this. Two, I've been feeling a little nostalgic. I've been wanting to revisit the game from a fresh perspective, from a brand new perspective, and kind of see how well we can do with free-to-play and progressing with free-to-play. So there's also that. And three, obviously the anniversary is around the corner. So again, kind of falling back on point one with trying to help guide new players. I want to give people the best possible shot at succeeding, obviously, going into the 10th anniversary, and this is kind of my way of doing that without necessarily, you know, going through my old account. We'll still be doing my main account live streams and stuff when we do summons and stuff, but I wanted to do this as a video series to kind of help players. So let's kind of jump into it. Now for brand new players, when you end up joining the game for the first time and download the game for the first time, basically, what you kind of encounter is you go into a scenario of like basic mechanics, like very basic mechanics of the game, and you'll go through like a story scenario of like what Goku's been up to with OG Dragon Ball going into the Saiyan Saga. After that, you will come to this screen. Basically, it'll show you what combat's like, certain like very minimal mechanics in what combat's like. You'll do your first summon, which you don't have a choice in terms of what banners and stuff you summon on, but yeah, at the very least you will get some main characters to kind of add to your account, right? And then you come to the home screen here. So this first episode is basically just going to be a means of just going over the menus and stuff, and then the next episode we'll talk about assembling a team and just kind of going from there. We'll see how the progression of things kind of go, but I want to at least give people an idea of what to expect when they join in. So first off, this is your home screen. As you can see here, the current team that you have selected from all your team rosters will show up on this wheel here. This is just an aesthetic thing. It's nothing anything too crazy about. At the top here, you will see your main profile, like, information display. So you have your account rank, you'll have your experience bar, you'll have your stamina bar, you'll have your Zenny, which is an in-game currency, you have stones, which is your premium currency, and then the restore in here shows you, the restore in is like your stamina restoration. So starting at the top here, we can just go over here to the profile segment. We go to the profile segment here, and you have a bunch of information that's just kind of displayed to you. So at the top, you have your no title on display. This is a title when you complete certain objectives, beat certain stages, especially during like celebrations and stuff like that. You can display a title. These are strictly just visual and nothing crazy. Then you have your rank here, and next to the rank is your account name. You can change this, I believe, at any time. You have your favorite character, which you can select on this menu, which would be like you select this, and out of all these characters, you can select like your favorite character. So just for giggles, Yamcha is my favorite character, right? Then below your favorite character, you have your power level, which the more you play in the game and the more you do in game, it gives you a power level. So every time you activate a hidden potential, which we'll get into in a later video, you get points towards your power level. Every time you level up a link skill, again, we'll explain that in a future video, you gain a level. Every time you clear a stage, you get power level. Every time you awaken a character, you get a level. Easy peasy, right? Then on the right here, you got your friend information. You can select one of your units to be a friend supporter. When you go and create a team, a team is usually comprised of a leader, a bunch of units that work with that leader, and then a friend supporter, which is a secondary leader for the team. We'll go into this in a later video as well, but you can set a character, and this will help out people when it comes to building their teams. And then obviously the number of friends. You got your friends list. Then below at the bottom here, you have your, this is basically like a monthly pixel art type deal. Every time that you do events and every time you log in, you gain experience towards this pixel character. And as you kind of go through these pixel characters, you will see every time you gain a level in this pixel stage, you get increasing rewards every month. So if you get all the way to level 12 by the end of January, you will get stones, the premium currency. You'll get these Kais, which increases your super attacks. You'll get meat here, which is basically refills your stamina for free. Potential orbs, Zenny statues, and stuff like that. So very, very worthwhile to go through and at least get to level 12 every month, because it's a bunch of free stuff that you can just get. And then down at the bottom here, there's a game mode that we'll talk about later on called Burst Mode. When you beat Burst Mode stages, you can develop points, and those points are then converted into these Burst Mode coins. And the Burst Mode coins will allow you to get OSTs from inside the game, and you can set these OSTs onto your onto your account. So like you can go into each of these little tabs here. You can kind of mess around and listen to all the different OSTs. Usually they're tied to like characters. Whenever characters release, they have an OST that's built in with them, so you can kind of just mess around with that. Burst mode's something that you're not going to do right off the bat. It's going to be, we'll get into that in a later video. It's going to be a harder difficulty thing, but that's all that. So that's your profile, right? But let's go into like the standard menus. So you have your news here. Your news is going to talk about everything that's kind of going on in the game as it currently stands and everything that's kind of upcoming, right? So you just go through here and you can click off on all of these nodes, and they'll tell you exactly what's coming to the game, what you can play, what you can do. Your menu options, obviously you got your friends, which you can manage all of your friends. You have data linking and backing up, linking your Bandai Namco ID. You can go to your options here, mess with background settings and sound effects. And all your different like settings and stuff. You got your language voice settings, which we're going to set mine to English because I like the English voices. Your daily capsules, your wallpaper settings, which we only have the one, so it's not like anything's going on here. But yeah, it's basically just your basic things. Then you got your missions. As you kind of play the game and you complete things in the game, challenges, whatnot, you'll have missions. You'll have your daily missions, which is basically clearing stages and stuff. You have normal missions, which is basically like stuff that go basically like doing your normal account stuff, like complete clearing stages for the first time and stuff like that will give you rewards here. You got your event stages, which is basically all the stuff that's going on in certain celebrations. All of the major high-end content stuff is all in here. You got your trials missions, which is something we'll get into when we get into the quest mode. And then we have the Portal of Memories, which is like when an event is not currently available. When a event is currently not available, you can utilize keys which you can go and complete these stages when they're not like on the current like event rotation. And then your gift box down here is like basically all the items you get from login bonuses. If you buy stuff within the shop, it'll all pop up in here. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff here. So we're just going to go ahead and accept this. So we got some wallpapers, which is cool. We got some Zenny statues, which will come in handy later. We got 57 Dragon Stones for completing the tutorial, the opening tutorial. We got some basic standard characters that we can utilize. These are free-to-play characters that you can use. We got meats, training items, basic regular items, stuff like that. So... and then the last thing on this main menu that we're primarily going to focus on going into the next video is the panel missions. Utilizing these panel missions, you'll have a monthly panel mission here, which is basically just do stuff in the game. If you do stuff in the game, you'll eventually unlock all this. Then you have your beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert stages, and these are our like goalposts as a new player. These are the first things that we're going to want to complete, because these are going to be the things that help us actually progress and do events and stuff like that. So we're going to go through all of these starting in the next video, and kind of like work our way up to building a team, basically. Okay, that's all the stuff on the main menu. Let's kind of talk about everything else that's kind of going on here. So if you click the start button here, it'll show you all of the different things that kind of you can do in the game, right? You have your Dragon Ball stories, which basically go over the main accounts of like the actual like story of Dragon Ball, from Z all the way up to Super, and now we got Daima stuff that's slowly making its way in. Then you got events, and there's different events that you can actually access, right? So let this load up in here. So there's different events that you can do. So you have your story events, which are like specific events that help you get free-to-play characters. Basically, the majority of story events are going to go to Dragon Ball Story. They're like in the midst of like transitioning a lot of those events over to that and like updating them. So once we unlock that, we'll kind of talk about it. But you got growth events here, which these events like give you items. They give you like, you have like the Ginyu Force stage here and the Team Bardock stage here that kind of help you build those free-to-play teams to kind of utilize. We can go over those at a later date. But basically, you come here when you want items, you want medals, you want some free-to-play characters, hidden potential orbs, basically everything to kind of grow your characters and kind of grow your account. Then you have challenges. Challenges are like where the harder end content is, and it's where we go to awaken our characters. Again, we'll talk about that in a later video. And then Z Battle is like your easy A-ing, which is basically taking an older unit and making it more modern, basically. So, but because we're a brand new account, and because you guys are a brand new account, we are going to keep. A lot of these are kind of locked for the meantime. So, then we have your menus down here at the bottom, right? And then this will be the last little bit of talking point that we kind of go into before we go into our next video. So, here's the home page. You have your team page. So these are all of your teams for all of your units. There are so many different teams that you can build based off of categories that each character kind of has. You have 5 different pages with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on each page. So you can build 50 teams of your choosing when you have units, right? And then you got your growth stage here, which allows you to boost up your characters either by leveling them up with training, awakening them to be stronger characters, which we'll go over in a later video, and then link levels, which we'll talk about then too. You have support memories, which is something we'll talk about later. Dokkan Awakening is part of like the growth and stuff. This just shows you like all the different characters and kind of talks about like the stages of the characters and stuff like that. Your character lists, your item lists, your special stickers, and like your Shenron, which we'll get into when we get into quest mode. So then you have your summons, obviously, down at the bottom. We're gonna go over this. We're gonna go over this eventually, but since we're a brand new player and we don't really have much going on right now, we can't really do summons. So as a new player, I would advise you to do like a lot of the basic stuff. Just go through the tutorial stuff, the panel missions, before we do any of this, because it's only gonna give you more premium currency to allow you to do these summons, right? But we'll go over this all on a later date. Then you got the shop. This is your obviously this is where you go to buy currency. This is where you go to buy tickets for banners. It's where you can go to buy items and stuff like that. All very specific things. And then the exchange shop. The exchange shop here is basically your it's like your free-to-play currency type shop, right? As you complete stages and events and stuff like that, you'll get access to different free-to-play currencies, which will allow you to get items for free rather than spending the money in the actual shop. So the exchange shop is like your free-to-play shop. But yeah, that's the menu system for the most part. There's a lot there and a lot to go over, but it's something that I wanted to kind of help cover and showcase. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think of everything going on within the main menu of main menus and navigating the menus of the game. In the next episode, we're going to talk about the panel missions specifically, and we're going to talk about how to build a team and training and all that stuff. So, I'll thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys all in the next Dokkan Beginner's Guide video. Peace.